Hey everybody, it's Ann Clay and I'm giving you a little update about the barn sale this weekend like I told you I would. It was a great day. It was a great success. It was really great. We had the best people there. I mean, it got really busy right at the beginning, but not too busy. Everyone fit in the barn. And within a couple hours, things started to slow down. But I'll tell you, all of you viewers who came, thank you so much for coming. Cousin Mel and I appreciate it. You all were wonderful people. It was a fantastic success, really, the sale. And I have all you to thank for that. I know that there were very few people actually that came from the close area. So the people that did come came from pretty far around, except for a few exceptions. And it was a fantastic outcome. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. I learned some things about sales. First of all, I want to really thank Joanne for helping us. She is one of the viewers. She came all the way up from Rhode Island and she really helped us price. I mean, that was like a big thing. And she helped us organize. She asked me questions. I would have just gone in this with Cousin Mel and I, and it would have been kind of a crazy disaster. But it turned out, there was a big truck going by. It turned out to be run very smoothly thanks to my daughter and son-in-law. Thank you so much. And Joanne and my mother and Fred, Joanne's husband, and shirtless Tom, and then Cousin Mel and I. Everybody pitched in, did our jobs, and it was just amazing how well it flowed. So Joanne, thank you for all your help. And Fred, thank you too. After that, there's other things I learned. One is Facebook Marketplace is no longer a safe place to list things, even for free. There's a scam out there, and I wanted to tell you guys about it because you might fall for it like I did. There's a scam where someone says, is this available? You say it is. They say they want your phone number because they want to make sure you're a real person. They start to send you some verification codes and they steal your information. So I had 2 of those fishing expeditions. I didn't know the first one was fishing and I thought it was real. And then my daughter told me it was a fishing thing. So watch out for that. That is like the most important thing I learned about this. The second thing I learned is people don't want your dishes. And that was a hard one to learn because I have a little bit of a plate addiction. And I put 3 sets of plates out there. And I have 5 left in the house that I'm going to keep. But one set went, but I really knocked it down from what I paid for it. And I thought I had a really good deal. So that went for like nothing. And then the other 2 just stayed. So that's one thing I learned. Another thing I learned is that people don't want your furniture. I had some really good furniture and some of it went, and I'm glad. But some of it did not go because you have to have just the right buyer. So I ended up with a few things on the curb that we're going to have to take to the dump. And they're perfectly good. And I hate to take them to the dump. But you can't even take them to Salvation Army anymore. Because there's a teeny little tear in one of them and Salvation Army would reject it. So that is something big I learned. I also learned that I shouldn't just buy spontaneously antiques and think that I'm going to be able to resell them for the same cost, because I bought some oak a few years ago and now oak isn't in style and it was very hard to resell. I had to sell it for like 1/3 of what I paid for it. So that taught me a big lesson because I always thought that I could just buy things and then sell them for the same thing I bought them for. And that didn't really work out. So those are some of the things that I learned. I do have about 2 boxes of combined stuff with Cousin Mel and I that are going away to Salvation Army or I don't know, some other thrift shop. And there's just a lot of work involved. So will I be doing this again? Well, I hope not, because I hope that I don't ever amass that much stuff that I don't use anymore. I realize that it's hard on a decorating channel. For the last 6 years, I've been buying a lot so that I could decorate with it and show you something new. And the last year, I've been yeah, a little more, minimalist. So all that other stuff had to kind of go. The other thing is I still had furniture and other items from my last home, so that had to go. Another thing is that I have said yes to a lot of people who offered me free stuff because I thought that was good and I needed it to fill up my house. But now that I'm changing my decor ideas, I don't really need all that stuff. So that kind of has to go, and I have to figure out how to disseminate it. What I really like, and I know that some of you are minimal and some of you are more maximalist, and that's all good, right? We all have our own threshold of what we feel comfortable with. We've talked about this with cousin Mel's decorating, that she had more and then she felt better with a little less. But now I noticed she's added a little more in there because her comfort threshold wasn't met until she had exactly the right amount in her house. Because for all of us, the right amount means cozy. And so my right amount is more minimal than it used to be because I try to make my pieces stand out, which means I have to be more deliberate about my pieces. Which, incidentally, speaking of pieces, I'm purchasing a wonderful blanket chest from Alice that is going to look wonderful in my house. So I'm really excited about that. Yay. And at the same time, another thing I learned is you have to be really careful with what you agree to buy. Don't buy it sight unseen, because sometimes the items might not meet your standards of what you can use, like allergies and other things. I have forgotten sometimes in my excitement about getting items about my severe animal allergies, not to my little dogs, but other animals. So, there's kind of a lot to consider. One thing that I also felt like with this barn and having all this extra square footage out back is that I could keep things there. But when you keep them in rooms, little varmints come in and they start ransacking and ruining your stuff. So that's another thing I learned, not to store things and to go real minimal in the barn area, just so that I don't have destruction and waste and damage to other items. So that's what I've learned. But what I really didn't have to learn was that you viewers are wonderful and you're kind, loving people who like primitives and more earthy things are very down to earth. And I really, really enjoyed meeting you all. So that's kind of the scoop about the yard sale. Do I have anything left? We do have a little bit left, but not very much. I have a couple carolers. I have, maybe I should do a little video about what I have left because, but what we're going to probably do is list it on Cousin Mel's Facebook and see if there's anyone local who just wants to purchase it and pick it up. And in the meantime, I'm starting to gear up for Christmas with, I found a gorgeous, gorgeous skater done by Gilbert Stewart, who is the man who painted the John and Abigail Adams and the George and Martha Washington. So nice. So I'm really excited about that skater. I'm going to order some. I believe both stores here will be carrying him, and I'm going to have one in the house. And I also already put it up on my website as a large picture. That will not be available in a smaller picture because of the aspect ratio. It's more long and narrow than the other pictures. So that one is available. If you want to see it, go to My Ann Clay, The Primitive Home, and take a look. It's really beautiful. And let's see, I think that's it. I have spent 9 minutes now talking to you guys about this thing. It was really fun. So what am I going to do next? I have some people that have offered to do tours of their homes, so I'm definitely going to do that. I definitely have to get together again with Karen Brulé. I have a lot to do. The last few days I've been going up north. We went to Deerfield Village the other day. That was so beautiful, and I wanted to film the inside of the houses and they didn't let me. So I can't bring that to you. And yeah, the outsides are really cool, but I don't need a whole movie about that. So that was disappointing, but I'm trying to amass some books that I can film the pictures out of the book so that you guys can see the whole thing, because that's just a really cool place and worth going to. One thing I learned from that is that they didn't have curtains really. When they moved here, all their fabric was used and reused and reused. They had to, of course, spin it, the wool, and then weave it. And so people just weren't making curtains and stuff, which really means that all the curtains in my house in the 42 windows are really not correct. They were more shutters that they opened and closed. And so I think I'm going to make a few changes in my house to go according to that museum. And yeah, I think that's it for now. I have a lot to do. I have a video from Lainey from going through 2 of her condos. So I'm going to try to get that up this afternoon and then work on some more stuff for you guys. But I just wanted to update you and tell you you're great. And I'm so happy with the way things turned out. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.